What's up, everybody? It's Candy Girl here with my 2 cents on the It movie. Yes, I am about to do something a little bit different for you today. So, first of all, I want to say to all my first-time viewers, welcome. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I hope you like what you see and that you subscribe and like this video. Also, leave me a comment, introduce yourself to me, and, let's just chat for a little bit. If you all have seen the movie, of course, I definitely want to see what you thought about it, because I'll tell you, I would say if I had to give it a grade, it would be a B plus or even an A minus. But I really can't tell you much that it could have improved on. You know what I'm saying? First of all, let's start off by talking about, the differences between the first and the second. So if you're like me, you probably have seen the 3+ hour movie of It, because it was actually first a book written by Stephen King, and then it was made as a movie, but the movie was made for TV, so it didn't have any of the gore, and really you had to use your imagination to kind of fill in the blanks as to how that person died or what the clown did to him, you know what I'm saying, except for doing like the freaky, like moving the shower rods or the shower heads closer to the little boy and stuff. In the original, there wasn't much gore or like horror involved. It was a lot of, substantive things, but it wasn't like so much of the special effects and the gore. So this one left nothing to be desired as far as horror and gore, and the costuming was great. The scary people were crazy. You could tell that the writers were like some freaking demented people, because for you to even think of that kind of stuff, it's just like, we gonna lay your name at the altar, because it must be something going on in your head to be having me through all this emotional distress. But nonetheless, I was thoroughly entertained. Also, shout out to the next Saw movie. It sounds like it's about to be good. That person is also fucked up in the head, however, and I really appreciate that fucked upness. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so it filled in a lot of the blanks as far as like how a person was actually murdered or tortured by the clown. So I really thought that was cool, because I'm a big horror movie fan, and so I need that kind of gore and suspense and horror at the same time, and I feel like they gave me all three. I also feel like they filled in a lot of the blanks as far as the relationship between the father and the daughter, and also like the little love triangle that was going on with the kids. So that was kind of good. The first movie, you saw like hints of like some kind of abuse between the father and the daughter, but now it's pretty much abundantly clear without going into explicit detail, and that can be probably traumatizing for some people. So they went as far as it could possibly go, in my opinion, as far as the type of abuse that she was enduring. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But as far as the love triangle, I don't know if I just like was not paying attention during the first movie, but I just remember like when they became adults, the guy with the stutter who lost his little brother, like all of a sudden he sees the young lady and he just like kissed her on the lips. And I'm just like, so where did that all come from? Because I thought that was the fat boy's little girlfriend or love interest. And shouldn't you know that? Like, why are you messing with your homie's girl like that? I don't know. So it was just kind of like, it kind of filled in the blanks with that, and I appreciated that. Now, because I don't want to give any spoilers, I'm just going to indirectly refer to the difference in the storylines, because there was a lot of differences. Like with the bullies, it was different type of bullying, and I feel like this bullying was much more traumatic for the kid, for the victim. You know what I'm saying? On TV, you can't, especially, I think it was like the 90s maybe that this came out. In the 90s, we wasn't going for all that. We wasn't trying to see that much violence and bullying and stuff like that. But this time it seemed like, okay, they went in on the bullying stuff. Thank God for rated R movies, because I felt like this is, what makes it rated R. You don't want to just bring your kids to see it. Okay. Before I move on, speaking of bringing your kids to the movies, let me just make a public service announcement to all those people who don't give a damn about the fact that movie tickets are now $10 a pop. Okay? So, the first couple that I saw, because I went to the movies on like a Sunday at like 4 o'clock. So, I live in Memphis, and one thing that I've noticed about moving to the South is people ignorant as hell, and they like to scream and talk and laugh and joke and play on their phone with the full 100% brightness while we are all trying to see a movie. So I thought, well, Sunday, afternoon, people, it'll be a more conservative crowd. Let's put it like that. Wrong, bitch. Because one couple had the nerve to bring their infant baby to the damn movie. Now, let me break this down as to why I feel like you are just the most fucked up person to me at that moment. Number one, I don't pay $10 to hear your baby cry. And let's not talk about the concessions, the candy and the soda and the popcorn that we spend. And you better believe I brought my own snacks, but I still had to buy some popcorn and a drink. That was a lot of money too. So I spent about $20, $21 to see this little punk ass movie. It's not even a punk ass. I did not come to hear your baby cry for 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's what I didn't do, okay? So, leave that little baby at home. Now, one of my friends was like, but, maybe they just needed a break from everything. And, maybe they don't have the support system where they can have a babysitter to watch their kids. Let me tell you another thing, okay? Babies are full of sacrifice. That is what being a parent is all about. If you don't have the support system, don't have a baby, number one. And if you do have a child, God bless the child. But knowing that you don't have the support system, this whole village to raise a child is not in this movie theater. We're not trying to hear that, okay? I didn't help you make that baby. I sure as hell ain't trying to sit here and labor through your baby crying throughout this whole $20 movie. Second of all, your baby was facing the screen, okay? Now, this is an infant. I think the baby was maybe like 8 months old. So, of course, the baby's not going to remember anything. But let's just be honest. Do you put infant children through traumatic things with the thought of, well, they're not going to remember it? No. You treat your child as if they are, a sensitive, fragile being that needs to be shielded from certain traumatic things that they could witness in life. And watching a clown kill people and have like 2,000 teeth inside its mouth and biting people's heads off with all them teeth and everything, you think you need to be showing an infant child that? No. Okay, so if you have an argument that, it doesn't really matter, the baby ain't going to remember none of that stuff, it's going to be fine. Well, how about the other 3 kids that were at the end of the aisle who were probably anywhere from 6 to 9 years old? These babies still going to birthday parties full of clowns, and you probably traumatize them for the rest of their life, because guess what? I don't even fuck with clowns. After I done seen this remake, this remake was on some other stuff. I was kind of clutching my pearls like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be all like this. Can we get like a warning before, the movie on the screen and just tell you like it's about to go down? Just want to let you know, your discretion is advised. Child, I ain't never seen some stuff like that. So to bring your children, it's just like, How negligent can you be? And I looked over at them children. Them children were fucked up through that movie. I mean, they was really, 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 really crying and scared and covering their eyes and shaking and stuff like that. You don't put your little children through that. This is a rated R film. That means you don't bring anybody under age 17. Of course, unless a parent is there. But when it comes to somebody under the age of 15, they really don't need to be there, especially if it's scary. You don't know what the child can handle at that point, and they sure couldn't handle that because the way that they was looking, they looked like they was completely shook. Okay. So, just saying, stop bringing your kids to the movies. Don't nobody want to hear your baby crying, and don't nobody want to bear witness to you traumatizing your children. Let me continue. Okay. So as far as the storylines being different, the bullying was different. Like some of the things that happened to adults in the part 2 actually happened to the children in part 1. So they really mixed it up, and it was very unpredictable in that way. So I liked that because it was like, even though I had seen the first, it wasn't like it was a play-by-play, apples-to-apples kind of remake. It was definitely different. It gave me something that, I enjoyed watching. Plus, it gave me something new, a different rendition of events, and I thought that was cool. So, with that being said, spoiler alert, but it's really not even that serious of a spoiler. There is going to be a part 2. Okay, of course, that's not much of a spoiler because there were 2 parts to the first It. But I would have thought that it was just going to be one part because it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Shut up. What else you got to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was long enough. But I guess they got something else to show us with the adults. And what I'm thinking, especially because, as I said before, some of the things that happened to the adults in part 2 actually happened to the children. I'm not sure if that's going to happen again to the adults just like it was written originally, or, because they're changing things up, how that's going to all go. But even the adult version, it really wasn't that serious. It was just replaying what the kids did before. To me, it wasn't that entertaining as the first part on the original. So I really don't know how it's going to compare to the part 1, if you know what I'm saying. Because a lot of the stuff we've already seen, because in part 1, you start changing things up to the point where we kind of know what the clown does and what defeats him. So in part 2, what are you going to give us that's any different? I don't know. So y'all tell me what y'all thought about the movie. What differences did you think kind of made it more entertaining this time? What different storylines, did you really enjoy more in this movie than the last one? And are you going to see part 2? And are you going to see it in the movies? And how do you think about people bringing their little punk ass kids to the movies? I'm sorry. Kids are not little punks. Let me stop. What do you think about punk ass parents bringing their kids to the movies? Y'all let me know below in the comments. Until next time, you all love me.